All right, and we are live. Good evening po sa inyong lahat mga kaguro. And of course, welcome back to Gurong Pinoy. Hello, of course, sa lahat ng members ng Team Brunner, Sections A, B, and C. Of course, our Section C, this is our babies that are under our final coaching and classified files group. So again, Team Brunner po is still accepting its members. No? So po pwede pa rin po kayong humabol. Wala pong kaso kahit na ngayon pa lamang po kayo magpapa-member because you can easily go back to all our full-length videos. You can download all our files and of course po pwede nyo po makita lahat ng ating classified files. Now, if you'd want to become a full member, a full-fledged member, then you can become a member of Team Brunner sections A and B. And of course, if you'd want to just join us for our final coaching and classified files, you can also join Team Brunner section C. So again, it's very easy. Just send a message po sa ating Facebook page. If you are watching us on Facebook right now, that's where you should be sending your private message. If you are watching us on YouTube, of course, please go to our Facebook page later. Both our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, the name is both Gurong Pinoy. Okay, so again, welcome. Good evening po sa inyong lahat. And again, for Let September 2023, open na din po yung ating Team Skinner. This is our newest team from Grow, no? From Grow to Team Gardner, Team Erickson, then we had Team Piaget last October na let, no? Then of course now we are having Team Brunner. The next team that's going to be for September, that's Team Skinner. Now we have 300 slots. Ang 300 slots po natin ay magkakaroon ng discount. Of course, you only need to pay 200 pesos. Ay, not 200, sorry. 2,000 pesos for our membership. That's for Gen Ed, Prof Ed, and also for our major. So sa major po, meron tayong English, Filipino, General Science, there's Social Science, there's MAPE, Mathematics, and TLE-AFA. Okay? So again, just send a message sa ating pong Facebook page kung paano po kayo makapag-join sa lahat ng ating teams. Okay? So again, that's Team Skinner for Let September 2023. We are going to have our orientation in April. So habol po kayo, and of course, you can enjoy our discounted price for full membership. That's Gen Ed, Prof Ed, and Major. For 300 slots lang, no? 300 slots lamang po. Only 2,000 pesos, okay? So again, just send a message through our Facebook page. Now, tonight, we are going to start with our 300 pesos GCash for our 5 lucky winners. And so here on the screen, you can see, get a chance to be one of the 5 lucky winners of 300 pesos GCash. And how will you win? How can you win? You have to share our live stream, and of course you have to tag 3 let takers. Okay, so very easy. Make sure that you have shared it publicly. May share button, and of course tag po yung tatlo ninyong friends. And then later I am going to be picking 5 lucky winners of 300 GCash. Okay, so make sure that you are sharing our video so that we can reach out to more people sa mas maraming kaguro, and of course we can help more people pass the let. All right, so tonight we are having final coaching day 3 for let March 2023. Again, this is for general education tonight, no? Gen Ed po tayo tonight. Paki-like, love, and of course paki-share na po ng ating video. You may start a watch party, you may tag your friends. If medyo blurry po yung ating video, you can change the video quality. Kapag may caption din, po pwede nyo pong i-off yung caption, ha? But it's very important that you are interacting with me as we answer the different items so that your learning becomes more meaningful, more fun, and of course, more permanent. Okay? Good evening mga walang jowa. Sabi ni Sir Rico Trilles. Huwag ka na pong mangdamay, Sir Rico. Okay? Sabi ni Sir Rico. All right. So again, good evening po. But of course, before we start with our discussion, let us all have our opening prayer. So samahan niyo po ako mga kabro. Dear Lord, I come to you to ask for your guidance and direction in this study session. I ask that the Holy Spirit fill me with strength, creativity, and understanding to get through my studies without difficulty or sin. Help me hold my focus and attention. Help me to retain all that I learned. Please make my mind sharp and keep distractions at bay. If any part of my studying is weak or lacking in some way, let it be revealed so that I may correct it. Thank you for this opportunity to learn. Amen. All right. Now, once again, this is Final Coaching 3 for General Education. Paki-like, love, and of course, share na ng ating video. If you'd want to be one of our 5 lucky winners no, for our 300 Gcash, share our video, share our live stream, and of course, tag 3 let takers. Okay, so this is Final Coaching Day 3 again. Let us all start with question number 1. An avocado tree planted beside a sampaguita plant in a garden demonstrate what kind of relationship? Is it letter A, co-optation, letter B, predation, letter C, parasitism, or letter D, competition? What is our choice? Question number 1. Meron pa mga may hangover ng Valentine's Day dito na sabi ni Ma'am Blessing Decano, good evening mga single and broken. Ready na naman ba kayong humugot dito sa comment section? Ayan na, huhugot na. Alright, I see letter D. Sabi ni Sir Luigi Facundo, letter D, letter D. Tumpak kaya ang letter D for question number 1? Or ligwakers kaya ang letter D? Okay, assalamualaikum po sa ating mga Muslim brothers and sisters. Good evening po sa ating lahat. Okay, so again, paki-share po ng ating live stream and of course, paki-tag yung 3 let takers para mapasama po kayo no, sa may chance na manalo ng 300 Gcash from tonight's live stream. Okay, letter D for question number 1. An avocado tree planted beside the sampaguita plant in a garden demonstrate what kind of relationship? The correct choice here, of course, would be letter D. Competition is tumpak, okay? If they are planted beside each other and in the same garden, of course, they are going to be competing with each other, no? So competing for sunlight, for the nutrients in the soil, for the water, okay? So competition po yung mangyayari sa ating avocado tree and of course sampaguita dito. Okay, now there's no co-optation, wala pong co-optation. Of course, when you say predation naman, ito yung meron kang predator na nangangain and of course you have the prey na kinakain, okay? And ang parasitism mo naman, merong parasite, okay? And the other one would be your host, all right? So kwentong relationship tayo, remember, you have the term symbiosis. And when you say symbiosis, this is an ecological relationship between organisms of different species, no? And these 2 organisms would be working together, would be living very close to each other, okay? So meron silang palaging interaction, okay? You have 3 types of your symbiotic relationship. Mutualism, both of them would benefit. So for example, your the humans and gut bacteria, okay, yung mga healthy bacteria natin sa ating tiyan. Okay, so that's mutualism. Both of them are happy. Now, of course, you have commensalism. One benefits, but the other is unaffected. Okay, so an example you have here would be your tagak and your baka, no? So your tagak would be eating from the insects na nasa back ng inyong baka, and the baka is unaffected. Although some sources would claim this as mutualism kasi naki-clean down no, yung body ng baka, pero wala naman talaga kasing pakialam yung baka whether it's clean or not. All right, and of course you have parasitism, the last example here, the last example of your symbiotic relationship. And here, one benefits while the other is harmed. So example, your ticks and your dogs. Okay, so yung lisa, yung kuto, at yung tao. Okay, so you have the parasite. It can be external, nasa labas ng katawan ng host or nasa loob ng katawan. Yung mga bulate, that's also your internal parasites. Then of course, the organism that is harmed, that would be called your host. All right, so letter D for question number 1. Congratulations sa mga nakakuha ng tumpak na choice. Sa mga hindi naman, better luck next time, of course. Move on ka agad, okay? So, hindi po pwedeng magmukmok, no? Hindi po pwedeng masyadong ma-hurt dito. Kailangan natin pagandaan yung inyong licensure exam for teachers. And so, move on tayo kaagad. Let's proceed with question number 2. Ang buhay na wika ay wikang tumatanggap ng pagbabago ng naaayon sa panahon. Ang mga sumusunod ay mga buhay na wika maliban sa patlang. Is it letter A, Inject, letter B, Filipino, letter C, Ingles, or letter D, Latin? Okay, what is our choice for number 2? Number 2, what is our choice? Okay, what is our choice for question number 2? I see A's. Meron ding D. Okay, letter D. Napakasimple ng ating tanong mga kaguro 'no, napakasimple. Sabi niya ang buhay na wika 'no, if, alive yung isang language, then tumatanggap siya ng pagbabago ng naaayon sa panahon. That means may mga words na naidadagdag at merong mga words na nag-e-evolve, okay? So, ang mga sumusunod ay mga buhay na wika. Merong term na maliban, that means except. Okay, so except. Okay, so what is the exception? Which among these is not considered a living language no hindi siya buhay na wika? Yung iba sa inyo ay hindi na naman nakita yung term na maliban. No? So yung iba sa inyo ay nagbulag-bulagan na naman. The correct choice here would be letter D, Latin. Okay, so Latin po ang ating tumpak na choice. It is considered a dead language. Okay, so Latin is now considered a dead language, meaning it's still used in specific context but does not have any native speakers. Wala po kasing native na speakers ang Latin. Sometimes you'd hear it sa churches, sometimes you'd hear it in some terms no sa philosophy or sa law, but there really is no native speakers for Latin. And so it is considered as a dead language. Wala na siyang evolvement, no? Wala nang evolution. Wala ng pagbabago, wala ng mga bagong words na nake-create no, sa inyong Latin language. Okay? So, letter D, Latin ang ating tumpak na choice. Patay na wika, Latin po. Okay? Not the rest of our choices. We have the term maliban. Okay? Maliban po. Yung iba siguro hindi na naman nakita yung maliban na term. Alright, we go to question number 3. Wikang nabuo mula sa pangunahing wika ng isang lugar o lalawigan na kadalasang sinasalita sa ibang bayan ng naturang lugar. Ito ay letter A, ecolect, letter B, dialect, letter C, ethnolect, or letter D, sociolect, sociolect or socialect. Okay, what's our choice? Number 3. Okay, again, please do not forget to share our video, share our live stream, and of course, tag 3 let takers para mapasama po yung inyong pangalan sa mga may chance na manalo ng ating GCash worth 300 pesos. Okay, so mag-share and of course, mag-tag ng 3 let takers. All right, I see a lot of letter B's for question number 3. And that, of course, is tumpak, no? Dialect from the term itself. No? So, dialect, ang ating pong hinahanap. Okay, so lugar or lalawigan. That would be letter B, dialect. Let's take a look at our next slide. Okay, so ito yung mga halimbawa ng variety ng wika. Unang-una, pinag-usapan natin yung ating pong kaninang sagot, dialect or dialecto. Ito ang wika o salita na pangkaraniwang ginagamit ng mga tao sa rehiyon o lalawigan. Okay, so another term for this is lalawiganin. Isa pang term for dialecto is lalawiganin. Alright, number 2, ethnolect from the term ethno, ethnic, no? So ito po ay gamit ng mga pangkat o grupo ng mga etniko sa bansa. Okay, so ethnic groups, that's why you call it ethnolect. Ecolect, number 3, ito ay mga salita na karaniwang naririnig at ginagamit sa loob ng mga tahanan. Sometimes ecolect is also termed as your mother tongue, no? Inang wika or unang wika, mother tongue. Another term for this is ecolect. Ito yung ginagamit mo sa loob ng bahay. Whether in your house, you are all spoken in dollars, no? Kung English po yung inyong ginagamit, or sa amin dito, Karaya, for example, or merong Hiligaynon, okay, or Cebuano, or Tagalog. So whatever is your mother tongue, ginagamit, karaniwang ginagamit sa loob ng inyong pamamahay, yan po ang inyong ecolect. Okay, ecolect. Now, Creole. Ang wikang ito ay nabuo ng pinaghalong salitang Banyaga at wikang Katutubo. Ang halimbawa nito ay ang salitang Chavacano, pinagsamang Tagalog at Espanyol ng mga taga-Zamboanga. Good evening po sa mga taga-Zamboanga. Assalamualaikum po sa inyong lahat. Okay, so again, that's Creole. Okay, pinaghalong salitang Banyaga at wikang Katutubo. Na lumalabas po ito sa licensure exam for teachers. medyo nahirapan yung ibang mga kaguro natin. I cannot remember what year, but very recent lumabas nung yung term na Creole. Okay? So Creole po, salitang banyaga at wikang katutubo, pinaghalo. Sociolect from the term socio, no? Social society. So ito po ay gamit ayon sa inyong propesyon or katayuan sa lipunan. Okay, so social status, that's your sociolect. Register, another term for this is jargon. Okay, so another term for this would be jargon. Tumutukoy ito sa mga salitang mayroong kaugnayan sa propesyon ng taong gumagamit nito. Mayroon silang ginagamit na salita na tanging sila lamang ang nakakaunawa. For example, yung inyong mga doktor, yung inyong mga lawyers, engineers, may mga terms sila na sila lamang yung nakakaintindi. And so you'd call this the register or jargon. And lastly, you have pidgin. Ang pidgin naman po ay mga salitang ginagamit ng mga banyaga upang maipahiwatig ang kanilang mga saloobin gamit ang wikang pambansa sa pabalbal o slang na pamamaraan. Okay? So pidgin, para siyang kabaliktaran siya ng Creole. Okay? So yung Creole kanina, wikang banyaga at pinaghalo, inalo siya sa wikang katutubo. And so meron kang lengguwaheng nabuo. Yung pidgin mo naman, para siyang inimbento, no? Inimbento siyang lengguwahe kasi ginagamit siya ng banyaga para makipag-communicate using katutubong language. Okay? So, katutubong lengguwahe. And so, minsan, paslang yung pagsasalita, pabalbal yung pagsasalita. Okay? So, pidgin, that would be number 7. But we were looking, of course, for number 1, no? Dialecto po ang ating hinahanap. Okay? Sociolect, Ma'am Lorraine Docaiso, ano daw po yung halimbawa ng sociolect? Meron tayong mga konyo, no? Kapag naririnig mo silang nagsalita, alam mo na konyo ay medyo nakakaangat-angat sa buhay ito. Yung mga jejemon, meron din silang sarili nilang paraan ng pagsasalita, or yung mga kaguro nating for example, taga relocation site na yung mga taga squatters, medyo magaspang din sila magsalita. Okay? So when you say sociolect, depende po sa estado mo sa sosyedad, estado mo sa lipunan. Okay? From the term socio, society, no? Society. Okay. All right. So again, those are the different variety, no? Iba-ibang variety ng wika. Okay? Now we go to number 4. The following are renewable sources of energy, except ito pong question na to, hindi po nawawala sa inyong licensure exam for teachers. So dapat po ay kabisado nyo ito. Is it letter A, the sun, letter B, coal, letter C, water, or letter D, wind? Okay, Ma'am Ronaline Lamagon, nakakamiss mga ka-Team Piaget. Balik-balikan lang po ang previous lectures ni Ma'am Mek while kumakain, naglalaba, background while sleeping, LPT. Okay, March 19th, 2023. Okay, so that's Ma'am Ronaline Lamagon. Alright, so again, paki-share po ng ating video if you'd want to be included, no, sa listahan natin na po pwedeng manalo ng 300 GCash. I-share po yung ating video. That would be on Facebook, no? So para po doon ko po i-check, i-share yung video, may share badge. Then of course, itag po yung tatlo nyong kaibigan na magti-take din po ng inyong licensure exam for teachers. Okay, I see a lot of letter B's. Okay, very easy. Sabi dito, the following are renewable sources of energy. When you say renewable, hindi na uubos. Okay, so renewable sources of energy, except. Yung hinahanap natin is an exception. So that means yung hinahanap natin is non-renewable. Non-renewable, okay? Hindi unlimited yung kanyang supply, no? And so the correct choice here would be letter B, coal. Okay, so coal ang tumpak na choice. Now remember, you have two different types of natural sources of energy or natural resources. You have renewable resources and non-renewable resources. You have your plants, the sun, water, wind, okay, or even geothermal po pwedeng renewable, no? And non-renewable naman, one of them, of course, would be your coal. Okay? So, coal na uubos. And so, letter B ang ating tumpak na choice. Okay? So, B for coal for question number 4. We go to question number 5. Educational theorist who experimented in learning among animals is blank. Letter A, Skinner. Letter B, Maslow. Letter C, Kohlberg. Or letter D, Lewin. Okay, ito medyo papunta na ng Prof Ed, no? But you might see items such as this sa inyong Gen Ed. Okay, minsan nga yung Prof Ed parang Gen Ed din, no? Minsan yung Gen Ed parang Prof Ed din. Okay, so integrated na kasi. Even your majorship, integrated na din. Okay, what is your choice? Number 5, ICAs. Mm-hmm. Okay, what is our choice? For question number 5, this is a theorist who experimented in learning among animals. Okay, the correct choice here, of course, would be letter A, Skinner. No? So yung bago nating team for September, their name is going to be Team Skinner. Okay, so that's BF Skinner. Okay, so siya po yung ating hinahanap. Now remember, these are some of the terms na konektado kay Skinner, no? Pag nakita nyo po ito, if the question in your licensure exam for teachers is asking for this, and then you see these terms, automatic Skinner yung inyong magiging choice, no? So reward, punishment, reinforcement, feedback, no? When you say feedbacking, binibigyan mo ng feedback yung estudyante, sinasabi mo saan sila nagkamali, sinasabi mo bakit mali ito, bakit tama ito, no? That's feedback. And of course, yung CAI mo, that's computer-aided instruction. No? Under po yan lahat kay Skinner. So kapag ka nakita nyo yung mga terms na yan, automatic Skinner tayo. Kapag ka nakita nyo merong trauma, merong phobia, and of course, merong generalization, discrimination, yun naman po kay Pavlov, no, yung classical conditioning. Okay, so Skinner, of course, for operant conditioning, he used rats, no? So rats yung ginamit niya. Meron din siyang ginamit na pigeons, okay? Now, si Maslow naman, letter B, he is, of course, known for his hierarchy of needs. So the lowest would be physiological needs, so yung kailangan ng ating katawang lupa, kumbaga. Then, of course, you have his safety, the love and belonging needs, your self-esteem, and self-actualization. Yan po yung nasa tip, no? Yun ang yung hierarchy of needs ni Maslow. So sabi niya, para maabot mo, no, or masatisfy mo yung higher needs, you have to satisfy the lower needs first, okay? So that's for Abraham Maslow. Then of course you have letter C, Kohlberg. Si Kohlberg naman, of course, is known for moral development, okay? The pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. Na? So on Friday, when we discuss our Prof Ed items, meron tayong mga items on moral development theory. So again, when you say conventional here, ayon sa convention, no? Ayon sa convention, ayon sa social norms, kung ano yung katanggap-tanggap sa ating society. Now, when you say pre-conventional, hindi pa alam ng bata yung mga rules, okay? So, hindi niya alam kung bakit may rules, hindi niya naiintindihan yung rules, ginagawa niya lamang yung isang bagay dahil ayaw niya mapalo or gusto niyang magka-reward, okay? That's pre-conventional. Yung post-conventional naman, po pwede nang mag-go against the law or mag-go against the rules yung isang tao. Okay? So meron na siyang sarili niyang prinsipyo. Kapag sa tingin niya yung isang law ay hindi makatarungan, po pwede siyang magprotesta, for example, no, that's post-conventional. Kasama na din yan dyan, of course, the highest form, no, of your ethics or universal ethics, kasama din sa post-conventional na development ng morality. That's according to Kohlberg. Now, si Lewin naman, he is known for the field theory. So again, remember, we've talked about this also last Monday. When you say field, that's equal to perception plus the psychological environment of a person. So kada tao, meron tayong kanya-kanyang perception ng ating environment. And of course, whenever we use our perception, nakaka-apekto siya on how we'd act out or how we would react in a certain situation. Now, ang pagkakaiba ni Lewin at ni Skinner and even Pavlov, si Skinner at si Pavlov kasi they used animals, kay Lewin naman he used children in his studies. Okay, so he observed kids in his studies. All right? But we are looking for letter A, Skinner, for question number 5. Okay, we go to question number 6. What is the area of a circle inscribed in a square having a side of 6 centimeters? Is this letter A, 9 pi, letter B, 16 pi, letter C, 6 pi, or letter D, 18 pi? Okay, ito, paborito nyo na. Math. Again, paki-share po ng ating video and of course tag 3 let takers para mapasama po kayo sa ating maaaring manalo ng 300 Gcash. No? So whenever we go live, until we finish, with all our final coaching videos, we are going to do this every night. Okay? Whenever we go live. For dahulan na lang yung math. Sir Evander De Jesus, hello coach, good evening po. Present po ulit ang Power Trio. Jed, Evan, Tina, pa-shoutout. Shoutout. Ang hirap ng shoutout, sir. Pa-shoutout po. LPT soon. Salamat po. Good evening, Sir Evander, si Sir Evan, si Sir Jade, at si Ma'am Tina. Good evening po. Maraming salamat for tuning in. All right, 6, I see a lot of letter A's. Now, ito medyo kapag tayo ay hindi math major, katulad ko, no? Because of course, I'm a bio major. Kapag ikaw ay hindi math major, lalong-lalo na kapag ikaw ay medyo allergic sa math, pag nakita mo yung ating question, medyo mahirap. Okay? So, pag hindi natin naintindihan, mahirap siya, no? Medyo mahirap siyang intindihan. Akala mo, anak ko, for the hula na lamang ako. But it actually is a very simple computation lamang. No? Simpleng computation lamang gagawin natin dito. Okay? So, makinig. Tingnan po yung ating screen. Okay? So, what is the area, yung tinatanong area of a circle inscribed in a square having a side of 6 centimeters? Okay? So, here, you have your square. Yung side niya is 6 centimeters. Okay? We all know all sides of your square would have the same length. Okay? Kasi nga square siya, no? Equal yung 4 sides niya, yung length na kanyang 4 sides. Okay? So, 6 centimeters. And your circle is inscribed in your square. Okay? So, inscribed siya in a square. Ganyan po yung pagkaka-represent natin. Okay, now remember the area of your square is S squared because length times width lang siya, di ba? Kapag rectangle. But since all the sides of your squares are equal, or all the sides of your square are equal, we simply multiply it by itself. Okay, so S squared, yung area ng ating square. Pero yung area naman ng inyong circle is pi r squared. Yan po ay isang formula. No? Team Brunner, meron na po tayong mga formulas dyan. No? Common formulas, the most important formula sa math. Okay, so area of your circle is pi r squared. Okay, now remember the radius is half the diameter, di ba? Yung diameter mo would be this. Okay, so ito po yung ating diameter and your radius is half your diameter. And the diameter, of course, ng ating circle dito would just be equal to the side of your square. Kasi yung diameter ng inyong circle would just be this, di ba? This entire length, no? Kumbaga, the entire side of your square, that would be the diameter of your circle at half niyan would be the area. Okay, so half niya, not the area, sorry. Half niya would be the radius. Okay, so radius is half the diameter. And so we can actually use that information. Okay, so for us to solve the area of the circle, we need to multiply pi by the side, no? Ang side ng inyong square, this one right here, divided by 2. Sana naintindihan natin bakit divided by 2. Kasi po, half lamang ng length na ito yung ating kailangan because we are using the radius, no? Not the diameter. Okay? So, the side of the square divided by 2 and of course squared, no? Kasi kasama po yan sa ating formula. Okay? So, pi, then you have side divided by 2 and this should be squared. Okay, so side divided by 2 natin, that would just be 6 divided by 2, which would actually just give us 3. Okay, so area then would just be pi multiplied by 3 squared. And you all know 3 squared is 9, di ba? When you say 3 squared, that would be 3 times 3. Okay, so that would be 9. And so the correct choice here would be letter A because area is pi times 9 or 9 pi. Okay, so letter A ang ating pong tumpak na choice. Okay, buyong mamek. Buyong? Ano ba yung buyong, nakakalito? Okay, it's actually very easy kapagka inintindi natin 'no, yung ating sitwasyon sa sitwasyon ng ating math item dito, it's actually very easy. So gagamitin mo lamang po half ng side ng inyong square, and then you need to multiply it by itself. So in this case here, 6 divided by 2, so 3 times 3, that would give you 9, then you multiply it by the pi. So since wala naman 'no, ang sa choices mo kasi meron pa ring pi, you don't really need to multiply 'no, hindi mo kailangang i-multiply yung 9 by 3.1416 and so on. Okay? So letter A ang ating pong tumpak na choice. Alright? Kapag kaliwak, okay lang po yan. Importante po alam na natin kung paano natin isosolve yung question na ito come your Marchlet. Okay? So sana alam na, no, naintindihan na. If you are a member of Team Bruner, balikan po ito later. And of course, you can easily download our PDF file later. All right, we move on with question number 7. Political idealists advocate ideals in politics such as justice, equality, and fairness. Political realists have more practical viewpoint in politics. Aptly stated by Might is right. Who among the following is more of a political realist rather than political idealist? Is it letter A, Martin Luther King, letter B, Julius Caesar, letter C, Benigno Aquino, or letter D, Mahatma Gandhi? Okay, number 7. Number 7, napakadali din ng ating question na maaring hindi nyo lang po naintindihan yung ating question, and so hihimay-himayin natin. Atin pong i-explain bakit ito yung ating choice. Okay? Ang sinasabi dito ng ating pong number 7, sabi niya, merong dalawang klase ng politiko. Okay, ito po, makinig ha. Ang sabi ng number 7 mo, meron tayong dalawang klase ng politiko. Meron kang political idealist. Yung mga idealist, remember when you say ideal, that means perfect. Okay? So yung political idealist mo, ito yung perfect, no? Perpekto yung pananaw sa buhay. Akala nila the society would serve justice, may equality dapat, fair dapat lahat. Okay? Fair dapat lahat. Yan po yung ating political idealist. Pero meron kan din naman mga political realist. Yung political realist mo naman, yung viewpoint nila is more realistic, no? Of course, realist sila. Ang sabi nila, yung kanilang pinaniniwalaan, might is right. Kung ako ay magiging isang leader, I have to be mighty, I have to exhibit my strength and my power. Okay? So might is right. Yan yung kanilang pinaniniwalaan, hindi katulad ng ating mga political idealists na I should give them justice, I should show them equality, fairness, etc. So yung tinatanong dito no, ng ating pong question is, sino dito yung political realist? Kung kumbaga yung sa pinakasimpleng interpretation ng ating question, sino ang gumamit ng dahas sa kanyang pamumuno, 'di ba? Might is right. Sino yung gumamit ng dahas sa kanyang pamumuno? Ang tumpak na choice of course here would be letter B. That's Julius Caesar. Okay? So remember, Julius Caesar was known as dictador or dictator perpetuo, dictator in perpetuity, also called dictator in perpetuum. Okay, and this was held by Julius Caesar from 26th January to 15th February during the year 44 BCE until his death on 15th March. Remember, he was a dictator. Okay? Tinatawag siyang dictator. He used his military skills, no? He ruled using military, okay? Military personnel. So that's Julius Caesar. You all know the rest of your choices. Martin Luther King, siya po yung namuno no, ng movement ng mga Black Americans sa Amerika. Okay, so that's Martin Luther King. Siya yung nagsabing, I have a dream, di ba? Very ideal, no? Very idealist siya. Si Benigno Aquino, of course, si Ninoy Aquino, he fought for the country, although some of you might not agree, especially if we all have different political views, of course, and so some of you might have different ideas, no? We're just being realistic, but of course, we know him to be the person who said the Filipinos are worth dying for. And of course, si Mahatma Gandhi naman, he is known as Bapu, no? The father of the Indian nation. Siya yung namuno through non-violence. And so whenever he would feel bad lang about the country, about what's happening in their country before, because under the British rule kasi yung India before, he would go on hunger strike. Okay? So hunger strike yung ginamit ni Gandhi. Non-violent. Okay? So letter B, Julius Caesar po yung ating hinahanap. Okay? So letter B for question number 7. We go to question number 8. That population increases geometrically, but food supply does not increase as much is the economic theory known as letter A, diminishing returns, letter B, Malthusian, letter C, supply and demand, or letter D, socialism. Okay, what is our choice? Batiin ko lamang yung mga team Piaget natin na LPTs na, no? Ma'am Cecilia, Rama, Luzano, Limpag. Hello po, Ma'am Mek. Good evening po. I miss your voice. I remember this moment. The moments like this, listening to your discussion. Thank you po. Sabi ko sa sarili, babalik talaga ako dito para magpasalamat sa iyo. I passed last October 2. Thank you po sa tulong nyo. May license na po ako 17 years ago, nag-exam. At last October lang ulit nag-take. I'm 38 years old na po. Okay, so I hope you all get inspired by the story of Ma'am Cecilia Limpag. Isa sa ating mga Team Piaget babies. Congratulations po. Okay, I see a lot of letter C's sa ating question number 8. Tama kaya ang letter C for number 8? Okay, yes, si Ma'am Cecilia, na-notice ko na po. Proud Team Piaget here. Sana ma-notice po, Ma'am Mech. Di talaga ako nagsisi, nagpa-member po. Nanghiram ako ng pera para makapagpa-member. Sulit na sulit pong binayad ko. Laking tulong po. Ma'am Cecilia Rama Limpag, LPT po. Congratulations again, Ma'am Cecilia. From Team Piaget. Okay, so next LPTs natin, Team Brunner. All right, I see a lot of letter C's. Marami kayang tumpak or marami kayang ligwalkers? Sir Jamil, Realista, Tabuyo. Thank you, Gurong Pinoy. LPT na po ako. Let Passer, October 2022. Isa po ako sa mga nanonood ng mga videos nyo. Congratulations, Sir Jamil, Tabuyo. Okay. Sabi dito, population increases geometrically. Mabilis ang pag-increase ng populasyon, but food supply does not increase as much. Pero yung supply ng food mo, hindi mabilis yung pag-increase, no? So this is an economic theory known as, the correct choice here is Malthusian. Malthusian principle po ito. Okay, so this is also known as your Malthusian principle. So letter B or Malthusian theory, sabi ni Ma'am Ezel, yan po yung ating tumpak na choice. Okay, so ito po yung graph natin for your Malthusian theory. Malthusian theory, you have this one here, the line, the blue line are your resources. So this is your food. And the red line, that's your population. Okay? So, population, kung gaano kadami yung tao. So, yung resources mo, linear lang. Okay? Gradual yung increase, no? So, as you go through time, nag-increase din yung resources, pero geometric naman yung pag-increase ng inyong population. That means masyadong mabilis. And so, you have this point right here, etong nasa intersect nila, no? You call this your Malthusian catastrophe. Diyan magsisimula yung hunger, no? Diyan magsisimula yung pagkaubos ng resources, pagkaubos ng food, okay? Below your Malthusian catastrophe, below this point or below the crisis point, your resources are in excess of the population requirements. Sapat pa, meron pang sobra. Pero after above that Malthusian catastrophe, above that point, there are insufficient resources to sustain the population requirements. Hindi na sapat yung ating food supply, no? There is already the scarcity. By the way, you pronounce it as scarce, not scarce, no? You don't say the resources are scarce, but you say the resources are scarce, okay? You pronounce it as scarce. Okay, so scarce na yung ating resources, so nakaka-scared na pag scarce na yung ating resources. So that's called Malthusian theory. or Malthusian principle. Okay lang po kapag ka naligwak. Importante, alam na natin ang ating tumpak na choice next time. Okay, tingnan naman natin yung iba nating choices, yung inyo pong diminishing returns, yung supply and demand, and of course your socialism. Okay, so eto naman yung inyong diminishing returns, no? Sabi niya, at the start of your business, for example, every unit of input leads to productive gains. So kada lagay mo ng input, kada lagay mo ng resources para sa inyong business, you would get some profit, meron kang kita. Okay, now you have this point of diminishing returns. Okay, so when you say diminishing returns here, upon hitting that point, every additional input will give you a slower gain in output. Kahit na magdagdag ka pa ng resources na to, hindi ka na kumikita, no? Meron ka pang loss, meron ka pang loss. Kunwari, no, bigyan ko kayo ng isang sitwasyon. Kunwari, ikaw ay reseller ng yung uso-uso ngayon, mangga. Okay? So, reseller ka ng mangga. Now, maganda yung bentahan, no? Nung ripe mangoes, ngayon maraming bumibili. Maganda yung bentahan. And so, from one kaing, nagdagdag ka ng isa pang kaing, no? Ganun pa rin, na sold out pa rin. Nagdagdag ka ulit, tatlong kaing na sold out pa rin. Pero, na-reach mo na, for example, yung point of diminishing returns mo. Nung nagdagdag ka pa ng nagdagdag, hindi ka na kumikita ngayon, mas maraming nabulok na mangga mo, for example. And so, what you'll have would be negative returns. Now, if you reach this phase, every additional input will give you negative returns. Okay? So, imbis na kumikita ka, mas nalugi ka pa, no? Mas marami ka pang nasayang na pera kasi hindi ka tumubo, nabulok pa yung iba mong mangga, no? For example, kaya yung ibang business owners, for example, ayaw nila na masyado na silang maraming branches kasi hindi na namomonitor lahat, hindi na check lahat, hindi na na-maintain yung quality, for example, no? So, imbis na kumita, nalulugi pa sila. So, it's better that you know your point of diminishing return. Alam mo dapat kung ano yung limit mo. Once you are beyond that point, hindi ka na kumikita, nalulugi ka pa, no? Mas nalulugi ka. That's diminishing returns. All right? Now, supply and demand naman, ito po yung ating supply. You all know the difference between supply, ito yung ating resources, at demand naman kung ilan yung taong gustong bumili ng ating produkto, for example. Okay? So, when the demand falls, kapag kukonti lamang yung gustong bumili, there is going to be a surplus of your supply. No? So, sobra yung inyong supply. And so, this means the price would fall. Dahil sobra yung supply, kukonti lamang yung bumibili, bumababa yung presyo. Okay? Mababa yung presyo. Yung kabaliktaran naman, if the demand rises, supply falls. Kunwari, yung tawag dito, yung onion. Okay? So, kukonti yung supply ng onion. Maraming gustong gumamit ng onion. Every time we cook, no, we'd always use onion. The demand rises, supply falls, then the price increases. Okay? So, the law of supply and demand, it shows how the price is affected by the interaction between your demand and your supply. Okay? So, depende, no? So, when this happens naman, imbis na may surplus ng inyong supply, there is what you call shortage. Okay? So, shortage naman ng inyong supply. Okay, now socialism, of course, this is an economic and political system based on collective, common or public ownership. Public ownership or common ownership. So si Karl Marx, for example, he believed in this. He believed in common ownership of the different resources in a country. All right? But of course, the correct choice there would be Malthusian principle, letter B. We go to number 9. This is math again. Guzman Company manufactures beds in its catalog. A double bed is priced at 5,000 less a discount of 20%. How much will Rosen Department Store pay for the bed? Is it letter A, 4,150, letter B, 4,200, letter C, 4,000, or letter D, 4,100? Ma'am Marley Almendras, good evening din po, Ma'am Mek. I am forever grateful sa Gurong Pinoy kasi nakapasa po ako last October 2022. Proud Team Peshay din po. Huwag po mawala ng pag-asa kapag ligwak po, basta sa final examination, pasado na. Good luck po, mga kaguro. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Marley Almendras. Nakakamiss ang Team Peshay, no? Hello po, good evening. All right, number 9, ICCs. For the hula again for the second time. Sabi ni Ma'am Danica Nepomuceno, kapag ka math po ba, hula na lang, kayang-kaya po ito. Okay? Facebook user, hello Mamek, wala po bang handouts yung TLE kagabi? Hinihintay ko pa po, no? Hindi pa po na ipapasa ni Coach Jan. So once I have it, of course, I'm going to be posting it. Okay, so sabi dito merong nag-react na ating kaguro. Ang pagtaas ng presyo ay hindi lang dahil sa supply and demand, kadalasan monopoly din. Yes, okay? Hoarding din, no? Nakaka-influence din siya. Si Facebook user, kaya pala nalugi business ko, nasa diminishing na ako. Okay, masyado pong napasobra, no? Yung ating input, imbis na kumita, naka-apekto siya sa quality. For example, even sa ating management, hindi mo na ma-manage na maigi. Maraming salamat daw, Team Piaget, for your inspiring messages, sabi ni Ma'am Michelle Ann Amparo Ramos. Okay, so ito no, napakadali lamang niya. Aha. Guzman Company, ito si Guzman Company, manufacturer sila ng bed, no? So, isang double bed was priced at 5,000 pero may discount na 20%. So, how much will Roseanne Department Store? So, kumbaga yung Roseanne Department Store mo, retailer na siya, no? How much should they pay for that bed? Okay, so of course, we'll have to get 20% off the 5,000 or that means 80% na lamang ng 5,000 yung babayaran ng Roseanne Department. So you can use 80% of 5,000 is, okay? So 80% of 5,000 is. 80% of 5,000 is, remember, as I've mentioned, no, yung of po in math, this means times or multiply. Is naman po is equals, okay? So that should be an equal sign, no? So 80% of 5,000 is, you can also write this as 0.8. Salan tuloy. Saan po nanggaling yung 0.8? Ito po, no, nilipat natin siya from this form, dinrap natin yung percentage sign ng inyong rate, and then we move the decimal point 2 times to the left. Okay, so 0.8 times, dahil sabi of, di ba? So times 5,000 equals, is equals. Now, equals blank, okay? And 0.8 times 5,000 would give you 4,000. So letter C, ang ating tumpak na choice. Kahit po tingnan nyo na lamang to, alam nyo na din naman yung ating magiging sagot. No, 20% po yung discount. Ano ba yung 10% ng 5,000? 10% po ng 5,000 is 500. You double the 500, 20% then would be 1,000. So 5,000 minus 1,000, your choice would still be letter C, which is 4,000 pesos. Okay, so letter C is tumpak for number 9. Okay, we move on with question number 10. The first Philippine president from the Ilocos region was letter A, Rodrigo Duterte, letter B, Elpidio Quirino, letter C, Ferdinand Marcos, or letter D, Manuel Rojas. Ayan, analyzing ang puhunan sa math, sabi ni Sir Aldrin. Okay, what is our choice? Number 10. Number 10, ICCs and Bs. Sino kaya ang tumpak? Ligwakers kaya karamihan or tumpak kaya karamihan? No? So the first Philippine president, ang ating hinahanap ay the first Philippine president. Basahin ko lamang yung ating ticker sa baba, no? Okay, hintayin ko po yung ating ticker, no? Enjoy the full video and download our materials. Join Team Brunner. Okay, so join Team Brunner po by sending a message sa ating Facebook page and that would be Gurong Pinoy. Okay, so if you'd want to join our group, no, you can watch a full length video. You can download all our materials. May classified files din tayo. Join Gurong Pinoy's Team Bruner. Just send a message to our Facebook page. Okay, the first Philippine president from the Ilocos region is letter B, Elpidio Quirino. Okay, so Elpidio Quirino po ang ating tumpak na choice. He was the second president of the Republic of the Philippines from April 17th, 1848 until December 1953. No? So if you are looking at the different presidents that we have and the different provinces, okay, so si Pangulong Elpidio Quirino po, ayan, no, from Ilocos Sur. So, siya yung unang-unang taga Ilocos. And of course, you have Ferdinand Marcos pang-sampu pa siya, no? So, from Ilocos Norte naman siya. Si Manuel Rojas is from Capiz. That's why you have Rojas Capiz, no? So, Capiz. And then, si Duterte naman, of course, Pangulong Duterte or dating Pangulong Duterte is from Davao del Sur, okay? And so, lumabas din actually siya no sa inyong licensure exam for teachers last year si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, the first president from Mindanao. Okay, so the first president from Mindanao naman siya. All right? Ito yung first president from Cebu or from the Visayas, lumalabas din po ito. So sana let's try to get familiar with all the things that we have here. Okay, Sergio Osmeña naman, if that would be your question. All right, we go to number 11. The candidate was obviously agitated as she spoke before the big audience because she showed blank. Letter A, calmness. Letter B, anger. Letter C, composure. Or letter D, nervousness. So what's your choice? Ma'am Eileen Amehano or Amilano. Hi ma'am, nakakamiss po boses mo. Team Piache here. I wanted to express my gratitude for your guidance and help for me to pass the LET last October 2022. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much, Gurong Pinoy. Lalo na po sa iyo, Coach Mek, habang nagsishade ako noong October, nagpa-flashback po lahat ng ni-review natin at habang nagsishade ako, natili ay na po talaga ako dahil halos lahat po ng mga ni-review ko lumabas doon. Thank you so much po talaga. Sana marami pang kagaya kong self-review ang matulungan niyo po. More power. Maraming salamat for the kind words and of course, kaligayahan namin na kayo po ay nakapasa na sa inyong licensure exam for teachers, Ma'am Eileen Amelano, isa na pong ganap na LPT from Team Piache. So again, if you are still not a member of Team Bruner, no, you have been listening to all the feedbacks of our passers. Huwag na po kayong magdalawang isip, huwag na po kayong mag-atubili na magpa-member po kayo sa Team Bruner. If there is a way for you to pass the LET and to pass it very easily, and siguradong pasado, magpa-member po kayo sa Team Bruner. Very easy. Mag-send lamang po ng message sa atin pong Facebook page where you are watching right now. Okay, 11D. 11D. Okay, so this here is a case of context clue. Okay, so context clue po ito. The candidate was obviously agitated as she spoke. Ayan, yung meron kang konteksto, no? Meron kang sitwasyon na pwede mong kuna ng hint kung ano yung inyong magiging tumpak na choice. So she spoke before the big audience. Okay, if you're speaking before a big audience, how would you feel? Okay, so the correct choice here is letter D, nervousness. Tumpak po ang nervousness. So not calmness and composure. You cannot choose either A and C, A or C, no? Because parehas lang po yung A mo at C mo. So you cannot choose either of them. Anger naman, hindi din. Okay, so the correct choice is nervousness. Letter D for number 11. We move on with question number 12. What are the hormones responsible for plant growth, promoting auxiliary bud growth, and apical or apical dominance? What's your choice for question number 12? Sir Giovanni Nahi, mag-send lamang po ng private message sa ating pong Facebook page. Okay, what is our choice? All right, I see a lot of letter A's sa ating comment box. Okay, and that of course is the tumpak na choice. Okay, so cytokinins and auxins yung ating pong hinahanap. Okay, so actually, kabaliktaran, no, yung kanila pong effect, your auxin, depende, no, kung high yung auxin, you have your root formation and cuttings, etc. Yung cytokinin mo naman would be low. Okay, so magkabaliktad sila. But these two hormones, these two plant hormones are the ones that are helping your buds grow, yung mga bukol nyo, no? Bukol and of course apical dominance, yung apex ng inyong plant, yung nasa tip ng yung plant would bloom because of your auxin and cytokinin. Okay, so letter A for question number 12. All right. Now we go to number 13, which is a check on the executive department by the judiciary in the principle of check and balance among branches of government. Is it letter A, determining the salaries of the president and the vice president? Letter B, declaring an act of the president unconstitutional? Letter C, declaring a legislative measure unconstitutional? Or letter D, impeachment of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court? Okay, what is your choice? Number 13. Basahin ko lamang si Roadmanship on YouTube. Legit po dito, maniwala kayo sa akin. Self-review here. 84.80% po ang rating, pero nangangamote nung college. Iba ang galing ni Mamek, madali mo magets, lalo na rationalization niya. Enroll na po kayo agad. Maraming salamat, Sir Roadmanship. With 84.80%. Congratulations po, sir. Okay, I see a lot of letter B's. Okay, so all of these are actually just forms of, or just all of these would show us the principle of check and balance. Kaya tayo may check and balance because of course, we are in a democratic form of government. Now we have three different branches sa ating gobyerno. You have your executive branch, you have your legislative branch, and of course you have your judiciary branch, yung executive branch mo. The president, the vice president, the cabinet members. Then of course you have your judiciary naman, that would be your Supreme Court, the lower courts, and your legislative naman, that would be the two chambers, no, your inyong bicameral nga ang tinatawag, yung Senado, and of course yung ating kongresista. Okay, so here, hinahanap po is check on the executive, no, presidente, vice president, by the judiciary, by the korte. Okay, so check sa president, vice president, cabinet members ng inyong korte. And so the correct choice here would be letter B. Letter B, declaring an act of the president unconstitutional. Who can declare it unconstitutional? It would be your courts. Okay, so courts po yung ating hinahanap. Letter A, determining the salaries of the president. Kasi ito, if this happens, po pwede siyang legislative mo yung mag-determine. No? So, yung inyong Senado at kongresista, yung magde-determine kung magkano yung salary or po pwedeng sa budget. Okay? So, declaring a legislative measure unconstitutional, hindi po siya akma sa ating tanong dahil sabi dito, executive department ang kailangan nating i-check. At letter D naman, impeachment of the Chief Justice, hindi din, no? Parehas po sila ng letter C mo. Okay? We go to number 14. Find the greatest common divisor of 24, 45, 5. Is it letter A, 1, letter B, 24, letter C, 45, or letter D, 2? Ang galing talaga ng mga reaction ng ating kaguro. Hindi ko lang po nababasa yung inyong name dahil hindi ko alam, Arabic yata, no? No more balance. Judiciary and legislative are all directed by the executive. Tama, no? Tama naman. Kaya walang kagat, no? Walang pangil dito yung law sa ating bansa. Everyone seems to just be able to go free kahit na merong ginawang masama, no, kahit na nangulumbat ng tawag dito corrupt, no, hindi nakukulong, hindi nabubulok sa kulungan. Okay, minsan hindi talaga nakukulong. Okay, 14 ICAs. So again, if you'd want to enjoy the full video, download our material, send a message to our Facebook page, and you can become a member of Team Bruner. Okay, find the greatest common divisor. Common divisor, we are actually looking for a number that we can divide. No, we can use to divide all these three without remainders, of course, di ba? But as you can see, 5 here is a prime number. Prime number po yung 5 natin. And so the correct choice here would be letter A1. Okay, so A1. 1 lang po, no? We cannot divide 5 by 24. We cannot divide 5 by 45. We also cannot divide 45 or 5 by 2. Okay, so hindi sila divisible by 2. Okay, so letter A, ang ating tumpak na choice, your hint here is that 5 is a prime number. So when that happens, your greatest common divisor would just be letter A, okay? Just be 1. We go to number 15. What are the prime factors of 60? Is it letter A, 652, letter B, 512, letter C, 5322, or letter D, 5321? Mm-hmm. What is our choice for question number 15? 652, letter B, 512, letter C, 5322, or letter